Truckers are the heartbeat of America. Now, it's time for those three crazy truckers to deliver you an hour of news, interviews, and entertainment for your listening pleasure. It's the Independent Truckers, right here at the Truckers Independent Broadcasting Network, with your host, Princess Allie, Mr. Rock and Roll Sean Mitchell, and John Wilder.
And Sean fell off already. All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. We got the Mr. Rock and Roll himself. Can't keep a connection. I don't know how he's going to fire up that guitar and rock and roll with us tonight, but here he is.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a Thursday night episode of the Independent Trucker Show, right here on the Truckers Independent Broadcasting Network. How am I doing so far with that guitar, John?
The guitar, I don't know. You just keep strumming along.
Oh, okay. Well, let me see if I can play like Ricky imitating Elvis. Speaking of guitars, John, our sympathy goes out to Doug Vial and his family. He lost his dad Saturday.
Yeah, it's sad news. Sucks to lose a parent, man.
So, we'd like to give our sympathies out to Doug, and we'll probably be bringing him on here pretty soon. Couple things going on at the FMCSA, John. Why don't you look over at the group page and tell us what's going on?
What's going on at the FMCSA? Well, I do know for a fact that the FMCSA has opened up the comment period for the NPRM in regards to broker transparency. I think that just recently opened up, and see if we got an article here somewhere about that. They've had some interesting discoveries. Let's see. Since it's been
yes, our vast unpaid resource team put that together.
Yeah, they had questioned TQL on a waiver clause in its carrier contract, forcing carriers to waive rights under Section 49 CFR 371.3. It could be a violation of U.S. Code because, let's see, U.S. Code, Title 49, U.S. Code 14906, evasion of regulation of carriers and brokers. A person or an officer, employee, or an agent of that person that by any means tries to evade regulation provided under this part for carriers or brokers is liable to the United States for a civil penalty of at least $2,000 for the first violation and at least $5,000 for a I can almost say the word subsequent violation. It may be subject to criminal penalties. So when they're forcing you to sign a waiver, they might be evading regulations, which is a crime. Well, how about that? All this time, man, they've been breaking the law.
And they're just now getting on board with this, but we brought it to their attention 4 years ago.
Well, James spearheaded this along with OOIDA as far as getting the NPRM going, and
the girls don't know who James is. We might want to give them a quick update.
The Small Business Transportation Coalition had spearheaded this, and so he's been working on it for several years now, and finally, it's gaining traction. I mean, it's been a real battle. You know, if you know behind the scenes what's been going on, it's been an absolute and total battle. And they spent a lot of time at the DOT. They spent a lot of time with FMCSA. They've gone back and forth, and some people have tried to file claims with the Federal Trade Commission. I know that for a fact. So it's been a hell of a struggle trying to get this to push through, and it was looking like in that last NPRM that or the one they're extending now, the FMCSA was saying that they can't do anything about waivers, contract waivers. And in fact, the Federal Trade Commission had finalized a rule regarding those types of waivers based on statutory laws that they were given to use as tools to combat these sorts of things. And they're very similar to what the FMCSA has. You know, if you know transportation policy under 49 USC 13101, they talk about this, about balance and stuff, and unfair and deceptive practices, and to prevent. I'm losing the terminology here, but basically deprecation of business and stuff. So they were supposed to be acting on this. I'm in favor of moderation over regulation. I think that instead of always making regulations, because once they're made, they're hard to change, they're hard to modify, and they're hard to repeal, when you need to. And so if we had moderation like commissions, committees, where stakeholders sat down and were actually trying to figure out what the businesses and the industry really needs to create fair practices within the industry, and to make sure when they're doing business in the interest of all stakeholders involved, including shippers and receivers. Carriers have been struggling for far too long now. These regulations have been defeating carriers, especially small independent carriers. A guy can in this day and age, he's not going to make it on $1.80 a mile, and they darn well know it, but here they are trying to offer out loads for $1.80 a mile and cheaper. What are they offering a mile? One time we were seeing 80, 95 cents a mile coming out of Florida and stuff, and then you got these shippers complaining that the produce is sitting on the docks. They can't find carriers to carry it. What's going on here? Florida, man.
But to break this down a little bit for you, for everybody else, in that particular article, once the trucking company got in with the FMCSA and TQL had found out, here you go, Allie, you like to play with numbers. They found out TQL was taking over 40% of the revenue off the load.
Damn.
40% money is what they need for run a corporation that large. But if you're going to book loads in fairness that the carrier is going to actually make a profit. Know your business, not just what the brokerage needs, but what the carrier needs too. And that's what the issue is. Whatever they make profit isn't the biggest concern about what is a carrier making. And when the carrier is running in the red and can't afford to fix their equipment, the FMCSA isn't lifting a finger to help them out, then complains and goes, well, look at all the out-of-service violations we have. Well, it's no stinking wonder, They're running in the red all the time. They can't afford to fix equipment.
Yeah, but you take like in Manic's case, her wage is guaranteed. They give her X amount of miles for X amount of mileage, and that's what she does. So, for company drivers, this ain't too much of a thing, but for owner-operators such as myself and a few others, 40% is an awful lot of money.
Well, what's it 40% of? That's the question. 40% of $2 a mile average for a carrier is crap for the carrier.
It is
money.
That's ridiculous.
But if it's 40% of, say, $5 a mile, then what's the carrier getting out of it? Is he getting an adequate rate?
And then they wonder why everything's so. But yet, though, when Amanda goes to the store or Allie goes shopping for her and her boyfriend, I hear right now eggs in New York are up to $12 a dozen.
Well, that's not got much to do with brokers and truckers so much as it has to do with the Biden administration ordering all them egg-laying hens to slaughter.
No, but my point of it is everybody's getting greedy.
There was a semi that I think it was a couple of days ago, that had a load of eggs that had an accident. And they were talking about how expensive it already was. And for that driver, I think is what they were saying was sometimes, the drivers are held responsible for that load. and the amount of cost that those eggs were in that driver, I can only imagine the price of that load.
Well, and that takes it into a whole new area with the insurance and the hours of service and other issues like that. But yes, that will be cost effective, and that eventually does get passed on down to the consumer.
Hmm.
So there was something else about Trump and DOT, John.
Well, I don't know that one because you're the one that found that article. What did you find?
Well, I
Oh,
posted it up so we could read it.
I saw something today. He is firing over 6,000. Shit, what was it? Goodness gracious! I thank you. I had it in the back of my head, and then I'm like, shit, brain fart. Yeah, he's firing over 6,000 IRS members, employees.
That don't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I
Nah.
don't think I'm gonna have a hard time sleeping over
That's
that.
what I thought. I giggled. I giggled.
Did you hear about
So let me
something
get this
too?
right. Let me get this right. Biden wants to bring in 10,000 new ones, and Trump gets rid of 6,000. You go, Don.
But did you guys hear something about supposed talk about another stimulus, 5,000 per household?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, me personally, even though it's the Trump administration, I think that's a hit. Like, I think that's a hit towards the economy again. The other stimulus checks did the same thing. It hurt our economy more than it helped it.
So okay, so the problem.
Well, I mean, yeah, Obama tried it.
We got a national debt. We've got now they want to start the sovereign wealth fund, and a lot of that money that they discovered has come out of. And we were talking about this last night on the Common Sense Conservative, and a lot of the money that they discovered come out of Social Security. So they've been robbing Social Security for all these grants, for all these erroneous 501(c)s and whatever else. You got grandma over here who can't decide if she's gonna take her medicine or feed herself for dinner, but she can't do both. Why are we not putting the money back into Social Security and save Social Security, or at least for those that are using it now, so they can afford to live the way they were supposed to live? Social Security, when it was created, was supposed to be a continuation of your income so you could retire with dignity. That's how they sold it. That's how the bill was supposed to be. And somewhere along the line, they decided they didn't have enough money to sustain it, so they decided that it's no longer Social Security retirement, it's supplement for your retirement. It's ridiculous, and that's exactly why you can't trust government.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, and actually, in all actuality, John, Social Security was not supposed to last as long as it has.
well, what do you mean?
When
It's supposed
Roosevelt
to be
set
a
it up,
program.
he did. When Roosevelt set that up, he did not set it up to be a permanent thing.
Well, why wouldn't he?
It was actually, in a sense, in actuality, it was a sense to try to relay things down as we were coming out of the Depression era.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that on Social Security. I mean, I'm not for social programs anyway, again, because it's government, and government will never handle your money adequately. They won't have your concerns at their heart, and they will screw you over once they get that cash. They'll use it how they see fit and leave you twisting in the wind each and every time. But it was the welfare program was designed during Roosevelt's administration. And that design was because
Yes.
World War II soldiers were coming home and they couldn't get jobs. So they created the welfare program to sustain them so they could live with dignity until they could become workers again and reintegrate into society. That program was not meant to exist or to be everlasting. But look at us today. We're killing it.
I
And,
would love if they
even still,
abolished
that's where,
IRS.
I mean, and that's where other programs like came out with the WPA and the TVA. And those are no longer around. Well, the TVA is still around, but it's under a different organization now.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine. I would love for the IRS to be abolished, and every bit of the tax money that we get back in our pockets. I had a friend of mine today tell me, even though she didn't work all year, she still got almost $11,000 back on her income tax.
She got kids.
And she's got three, but she didn't work all year. You know what I mean? Like, for me, put my tax money right back into my pocket. Like, don't give it to other people. Put it back to mine.
Well, yeah, you
Well,
would.
well, now I did see Elon had saved over 54 million so far, John, just in 2 weeks.
Mm.
He's been working at it, but you know it's funny because everybody's going, "Wow, they're moving so fast, nobody can keep up." Look how they're all over the place. I mean, they're just getting stuff done. You do realize Trump had supposed classified information. He said he declassified it, so he legally had all this information. Remember those files that they wanted so bad? Now
Yeah.
maybe we're starting to find out why they wanted them files back so bad. He probably had all this information on him he was holding. He's going, yeah, when we get back in there, we're going into attack mode. We're going to start cleaning this country up. And they didn't like the idea. They knew it was coming. And so here we are now. They had 4 years to prepare. So when they went in there,
Yeah, but I mean, I look at it this way: for what Biden did in 4 years, it's probably going to take the Don, I would say, at least a year and a half to clean it up. But he is off to a good start.
He is, and the man had 4 years to prepare. While they were in office, he had 4 years to calculate his moves exactly how he saw fit. And that's exactly what he's doing. Every bit of what he saw fit is exactly what he's doing. All of the moves he's making, all of the people he's bringing in. He just, I guess, announced, is it Patel? Is that what his name is? I can't remember.
Kash Patel, yeah. They just confirmed
Kash
him.
Patel.
Yeah, Kash Patel. They brought him in today. Head of FBI?
Yeah, yep.
All of those good moves that he's making. I know he's set back and he's thought about every move that he's wanted to make, and he knew when he got back in exactly what his moves were going to be.
So now
He started out fast.
We have our Top Gun investigator, and we have our Top Gun prosecutor, and we have a whole lot of people out there in the crosshairs.
Speaking of that prosecutor, John, I understand she's going after the governor of New York, the district attorney of New York City, the attorney that actually had fun with Trump at his trial, and word through the grapevine is that Don even gave Tom the okay to go investigate AOC.
Good.
Yeah, you know she doesn't file a disclosure statement. Members of Congress are supposed to, and other forms of government are supposed to file disclosure statements as to their investments and things like that. She would rather pay the fine instead of filing. Wonder why that is.
I find that very strange. You know, I'll never forget Richard Lugar. I'll never forget this. There was a reason why they called him Tricky Dicky. Because every year in the newspaper they're supposed to claim their income. And every year under Richard Lugar, he would have in trust. That's all you'd seen underneath his name, in trust.
Huh. That's all you had to put, huh?
That was it.
So Danny brought up gold. Trump's talking about going to Fort Knox and doing an inspection on the gold. Now I was listening to Johann Pulitzer today, talking about the last time they did that. No, and in fact, Mitch McConnell was there back in the 70s, and they were doing. No, they pulled out 10 gold bars and we're going to examine them for the quality of the gold to make sure it was real gold and all this other stuff. And he's talking about, the old bait and switch game, right? Yeah, you got 10 gold bars set aside, are golden. It's like when they tested the voting machines, they got 10 voting machines they never used. So let's test those ones. They'll surely pass. But I kind of think the gold's there. I think they'll go in there and they'll find it there. I know it's not all stored at Fort Knox. It's stored in various places throughout the country, and a lot of them at the, ironically, at the Federal Reserve buildings. In fact, the New York City Federal Reserve building, I believe, houses the most gold in the world. And there goes Sean. So, yeah, I think, but it's not all U.S. gold there. It's world. It belongs to private individuals and stuff, and they keep it there for security purposes. So Sean is having a hard time keeping a connection, and he's trying to come back in now. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Trump and Elon Musk goes in there and investigates. I'm wondering how they're going to do it. If they're going to use a different method, like let's pick something from the middle of the pack, pile, or if they will. I don't think they'll fall for tricks. Welcome back. Did you have a good trip?
Okay, are we all back?
Sean's still trying to orientate himself. So what else we
I
got?
keep seeing John spinning around here. Are we all back?
You're the one having a difficult time, bro. Yeah. He's freezing up. Stop calling him Mr. Rock and Roll and call him Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
Oh boy. Greg says, heard it here first. The people will not be happy with Fort Knox report. So they're claiming we're supposed to have what, 8 metric tons of gold in reserve? And I think
Something like that.
I think 3 to 5 of it's supposed to be stored in Fort
But
Knox. What's that, Sean?
No, I'd seen an article today. Mitch McConnell's not going to be running for office next cycle. He has made it official now.
That's no surprise there. But, Greg, we did hear it there first that he was supposed to resign. I don't know what happened. That was several years ago. Well, at least 2, I think. But he never resigned. What happened there, Greg? Tell us in the comments.
Yeah, Greg, you was worried. What happened here, Greg? Come on.
Can't trust a politician, man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So what else we got going on in the news? There's been so much. You guys hear about this truck driver got attacked over in rest area in New Mexico? You guys hear about that?
Did you say a truck driver?
Yeah.
I think I did hear something about that.
Yeah, got in a rest area. A truck driver is on life support after being brutally attacked at a westbound rest area in Interstate 10 near San Simon. Cochise County Sheriff McDaniels said the attack happened around 10 p.m. on Saturday. His detectives do not believe the victim is the attacker. So, I mean, he's brutally attacked to be on life support system, but apparently he was, while he was being attacked, he called 911, was disconnected during the attack, managed to call 911 again, emergency services, and got through, and they could hear him being attacked while they were on the phone with him.
Oh my God.
Right? They had to life support him out, I guess, and so he's in the hospital in critical condition, and nobody knows why he was attacked or what, if he's going to make it or what's going to happen. So it's concerning, how much violence truck drivers have to endure. Nobody takes it into consideration. We've got people that have been vying for everybody has the worst time with this word. To reciprocate within states to have firearms. Reciprocity laws. Yeah, so they've been trying to get him. James just did an interview with I don't know if you know who Colin Noor is, but he's very much a patriot, very much a conservative, and very famous. James Lamb was on from Small Business Transportation Coalition did an interview with him based on his bill or proposal for reciprocity for truck drivers. And here's a good example why. You know, here you are minding your own business, 10 o'clock
Yeah.
at night, a truck stop, and you're getting your brains bashed out or something. Who knows?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I remember one guy on CB radio talking about being in the Vince Lombardi rest area. He said he had $25 in his pocket. He went back to check his doors or something, and next thing he felt like somebody punched him in the back. And he turned around, and the guy was holding a screwdriver. Then he fell to his knees. That's when he realized he'd been stabbed with the thing. The guy lifted his wallet of $25. He said the funny part was he had hundreds of dollars stashed away in his truck.
Oh my God.
But yeah, truck drivers are vulnerable out on the road. I, you know, I'm not trying to scare people, but you can be held. You can be very vulnerable out on the road. You know, you don't know. We deal with a lot of whack jobs out there. We share the highways with drunkards and drug users, and anytime there's an accident, we're the first one they blame. And they view us as having a lot of money, carrying a lot of money, and you know how drug users are. They don't. Nothing becomes between drug users and their addiction. They'll kill you for
Right.
$25 just to go get another fix. You know. I'm not saying any one of them, but some people, man, they ain't wrapped too tight.
Mm-hmm.
Frequent flyer Sean Mitchell, back in the game.
Gotta love Kansas. Gotta love Kansas.
Oh, that's where you're at. We ain't in Kansas no more, Toto.
No, I'm near Wichita.
Stacy's back. Hi, Stacy. How you doing?
Well, I'm glad to see Stacy could join us.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about I may bring her on next week.
She's becoming a frequent flyer. It's good to see you again, Stacy. Feel
It
free
is.
to poke at Sean. He loves it. In or out, Sean. Jeez. Sean can't stay in. Symptoms of despotism. Yeah. Dan.
I'll hear about it later.
You'll hear about it later. You guys be on Discord all night tonight? 4 of yous. So, let's see what else we got going on, guys. I see you guys brought your radio.
Well,
here
and
to the show.
I just think with the way Trump's going right now, and I don't know if that article posted up on the Truckers Independent Broadcasting Network
couldn't
group
find
page or not yet, John. But it looks like Elon and Dodge are heading over to the Department of Transportation.
Oh, yeah? Did it say why?
I didn't get a chance to look at it like that, but that's why I posted it up. But it looks like they're heading over there now.
They put Sean Duffy in there. One of my concerns about Sean Duffy and Trump is when Elaine Chao was in the U.S. DOT as Secretary of Transportation, she oh, okay, I see. She was pushing autonomy very, very hard. And Sean Duffy, when he was sworn in, he gave a speech and he was talking about being first in autonomy in the world and all this other stuff, which to me was a red flag. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not ambitious to see all these autonomous trucks replacing real human beings. I mean, we're human beings trying to have a human experience here. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel the need to compete with computer technology. I'm sorry, but I want to drive the truck.
Mm-hmm.
So Greg is throwing one across.
Well, I mean, you know,
Go ahead.
Greg's doing what?
He's putting a shot across your bow here, man. He's rubbing it in.
No, I-
Whataburger in Maysville, Kentucky.
Oh, yes, James had to call me up about that the other day. Get ready for this, Allie. He has been in contact with the Whataburger team about putting one in Maysville, Kentucky.
No.
But he doesn't know if he can get the truck drive-through yet or not. Impress me, Toller. Get the truck drive-through.
You know, when we had cab over trucks, they used to have these ladders, remember, on wheels? And you put them in front of you. You had to walk up scoot up the thing to clean off the glass and stuff. And that's all he needs, is to have somebody that comes out, runs up the thing, and hands the food off. And
I told Taller if he gets it done, I better be invited to the opening.
I mean, damn, dude, they can have it all set up on a computer. You just pull up your smartphone, you type in what you want when you get there. Try to keep your eyes on the road while you're doing it. In fact, you should pull over, but have it all ready when you get there, and you just pull right up to the ladder, and they just walk it up, hand you your bags of food. You know, off you go. Come on, Greg.
So, Allie, what's your thoughts of a Whataburger in Kentucky?
I think we need a Whataburger just in Texas. Make the rest of you suffer. So anytime you talk about, I'm gonna get Whataburger. So if you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna get some Whataburger, I'm like, haha, you liar, you can't because it's only in Texas. So you have to suffer.
I got mine in Louisiana.
Yeah, well, they should only make it in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're to make it worldwide, that'd be nice, I guess. I like to rub in people's faces that I'm in Texas and I get Whataburger. I think they should put in a drive-through for big trucks for sure. I think that'd be pretty cool.
There you go. There you go, Taller. You heard it firsthand.
Hey, they make a crap ton of more money. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, whole bunch of truck drivers, and they're open 24/7. They're really freaking good. Yeah, they make a lot of money.
Oh, Ellie, do you live east of Dallas?
Yes.
Oh, God.
I think yes.
Greg said,
Yeah.
said all Whataburgers east of Dallas would be closing down.
Shut the hell up.
So hopefully you don't have to go too far west.
No, who said that?
Oh, Greg. He's trying to get one in Kentucky, but I guess they're telling him they're going to be shutting them down east of Dallas. So, wow.
Screw that. No, they ain't.
I guess
Send me a link. I don't believe them.
Listen to her. She's in denial.
No, I'm gonna lose my shit if that's true. I'm moving. I'm moving out of state. Forget Texas at this point. If they get rid of Whataburger, my life is over.
Stacy, that's
Taller, you had to get her fired up.
Computer technology, you're right. It will fail sooner or later, and that's one of the issues that they're talking about is that they need special roads just for autonomous trucks and all sorts of nonsense. It's going back looking at Elaine Child's administration there at the DOT. It was a lot of ridiculousness. How are you going to afford that? You're $37 trillion into debt. Okay, we do have Doge. That is a thing, but let me get Amanda back. But all in all, I mean, covering $37 trillion worth of debt and building new roads and new lanes just for autonomous trucks. Would it be better just to invest into getting a proper training and adequate pay and more attractive working conditions? I mean,
well, I mean, if they're going to take that money and they're going to make lanes for autonomous trucks, why can't they take that money and spread it out towards the people who are already driving?
Yeah, they could make more parking, right? You got to realize it's been decades they've known about these parking issues, and they've never done anything to fix them. So they faulted truck drivers and then turn around and say, well, we'll just raise the money and make new lanes for autonomous vehicles and all will be great. But you couldn't give us truck parking when we needed it. And then pointed a accusing finger at us.
Well, if you remember, and if you remember right, John, a couple of years ago, we had money allotted for our truck parking, and Pelosi decided we needed something else. They took it away from us.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, Nancy, you really screwed the pooch on that one, girl. I think it's time for you to go back to California.
She should have never been let out of California. She should have never been let out of her own backyard. They should have fenced her.
But then if we send her back to California, Stacy's got to deal with her, and I don't know how that's going to work out.
Greg says a driver will have to be in every truck that travels through Kentucky when he gets in office. But see, here's my issue about that, right? So that's what they said. They want drivers to be backup for the autonomy. So if it fails, you got somebody to drive the truck. Well, how are you going to drive the truck if you're not in constant practice? Isn't that self-defeating?
Thank you. See, that's my whole point, too. You're going to put an operator in that truck, and let's just say Allie decides she wants to be an operator in that truck.
Oh crap.
The truck fails. How is Allie going to be able to maneuver to a safe haven to take that truck in? What kind of training are you going to give her so she knows how to get that truck into a safe haven so somebody can look at it? I think it kind of defeats the purpose.
It does. It doesn't make sense that, wow, when you finally get to handle the controls, then what? You know, you're backing into stuff and breaking stuff, or begin to check your mirrors because you're out of practice. I mean, it's a discipline like anything else. You got to stay in constant practice. You know, you ever see these guys driving down the road doing the 100-mile stare, daydreaming, and they never check their mirrors. You look at them in the mirror, and you never see their head move. They're just looking straight ahead, never checking their mirrors, never checking anything.
Well, we've all been like that.
Well, I'm not saying that they won't get better. I'm just saying you'll be out of practice. You won't be checking your mirrors. You won't be doing things. You'll be kind of lazy and unconditioned to it.
But I mean, I'm not anybody out on the carpet. I'm bringing up a basic example. What are you going to do to give somebody that kind of a training to bring the truck into a safe area? You're better off just having them doing like we've been doing in the past.
Yeah.
You might as well just have a certified driver.
How about we actually make fair and realistic regulations that work? Wow, there's a novel idea. How about moderation over regulation? That sounds great. Better training and adequate parking areas. You know what they're going to have to do with autonomous trucks? Imagine an autonomous truck in Boston. It's on the street. They need to move it. Where are they going to move it to? Where are you as a human going to move it to? Where are they going to move it to? They're going to have to create parking spaces for these things to stage them for their next loads and stuff as to where they're going to go, where they're going to be. When they're idle, they got to have a place to be. You notice how that on the turnpikes, they have these pull-off areas at the exits for tandems and triples? So they can do breakdowns and stuff and stage their dollies and stage their trailers, run their trailers into towns and make their deliveries and get all the pickups done and hook it back up and haul ass. How come they can raise the money for all of that for them, but they never can manage to get parking for truck drivers?
Well, I mean, you got to admit
to that.
But I mean, you got to admit, John, some truck stops are trying to increase their truck parking. I mean, if you take a look at White's truck stop at Rye Pine, Virginia, they've actually increased a lot of their parking. But even the 595 down at Miami, Florida, they advertise over 300 parking spaces. But when you start letting people come in, park their junk, and it sits there for 30 days, that's one less spot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the issue isn't that truck drivers need to expand because truck drivers are not spanned out across the roadways, right? If we have more pull-off areas, we don't even have to have rest areas, just pull-off areas where you can fit like 5 to 10 trucks every 20 miles on the interstate or something, you know? You go to in and off ramp, and you especially see it out west where people just create their own. That's the nice thing about out west is they'll go to the end of the off ramp, and there'll be a patch of dirt there, and you'll see like 5 to 10 trucks lined up out there. They're off the road. They're out of the way. The ground's hard enough they can do it. But over here in the East Coast, man, we need them to actually come up with some sort of strategy on the interstates and stuff to have these pull-off areas and stuff so that spanned out so that you can get at parking. Huh?
And the Northeast is not qualified for that yet.
Oh, the Northeast is just they're a bunch of trucking company haters up here. Freaking Maine has been.
How many truck stops do you know? How many truck stops do you know in Rhode Island?
What is it? 2? 1? 1. Exit 5 on 95. Try to think. Yeah,
that's it.
Only one. In that rest area north of it, have you ever been in there? I watched a guy one time.
No.
Because the trucks are so long now, that rest area is so old, the stalls are short. And so they don't pull adequately far enough forward because if somebody pulls out, they can't swing around them. some guy's trying to get through behind him, and he's banging his trailer on everybody back of everybody's trailer, going through bang, but bang. It's like,
Well, and that's the same thing with Connecticut. They set Connecticut up for 48-foot trailers, and now we got 53s. You can't park right next to each other like you used to because you'll block somebody in.
You know, on the West Coast, you got 57s on occasion. They put them on the train and head them out to Florida where they're not legal to drive.
And I just don't know why anybody needs a 57-foot trailer, but okay, it's to each its own.
Well, no, it's fine out west.
Certain
You
states.
could do it out west, but you got lighter goods and stuff. It means you can pack more into the trailer, and you're not breaking any weight limits or anything. And it's fine if you got the road capacities to do it, right? I mean, big enough, open enough areas. It's kind of like height limits. You know, what's a legal height? Commonly, you say 13.6. That's usually your legal height. That's your maximum legal height for certain states. So if you're out west, you got some states you could be running 15-foot loads, height limits.
Well, and you had one company in particular, Gordon. They had 14-foot tall trailers, and they had, in their handbook, it had these trailers are not to go east of Kansas City.
Yeah, because you got bridge heights out there out west that you can get under them, and state laws that don't forbid it. But if you're on the
If
east
that
coast,
trailer was
like
caught in
13,
Missouri, your ass was grass.
Do what?
I said, if that 14-foot trailer was caught in Missouri, your ass could be grass.
Yeah. Not just by your company, but by the law.
So we got about 15 minutes left. Are we going to bang on Toller some more?
Toller's still here. He wants to know what if Musk proves he isn't playing the favorite card and defend autonomy. Toller, I think you worded that wrong. If he isn't playing the favorite card and defend autonomy, what do you mean? I would think Musk would be, if he's defending autonomy, it would be playing the favorite card.
Well, Toller has a link if he wants to come up and explain it.
Holy crap. You're going to do that to us, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's going to rub it in about Whataburger, and then he's going to get Allie fired up again. And
Oh, he did. What did he say about Allie? Do you know what he said about you, Allie?
What he said about me?
Yeah, what did Greg say about you?
I mean, besides the Whataburger or whatever about them shutting down in East Texas, east of Dallas, that's the only thing. Which I hope he's wrong. I'm gonna be severely pissed off. But they make too much money, so
Allie takes her Whataburger serious.
I take it very seriously. I'm a big back. That's one of my favorite places. I take it very seriously.
Danny wants
Better find out I'm at a Whataburger.
Anybody want to join the militia? Danny's leading.
Oh yeah, that is something I'd protest for.
Well, he wants to be the militia czar. I don't know if Trump's looking for a militia czar, but he says
I'll just write to Trump and ask him to make 2 times more Whataburgers. How about that?
Oh boy, somebody's having a.
I like that.
I like that too. You know, it's like I was really thinking about it. Why don't we just instead of deporting all the illegals, why don't we like let them search and hunt for the local pedophiles and just have Alien versus Predators?
Oh my god.
And like for every 15 predators they find, they get a green card. It sounds like a good idea. That's how to really clean up our country. Aliens versus predators. Let's go. It's perfect. I think that's a pretty dandy idea. If I was president, I'd make it happen. honestly, if I was president, I would make it happen my very first day of presidency. As soon as I get into the White House, I would make a broadcast, whatever, on every single news station, 2 times a week, every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'd be like, "Attention, illegal aliens! If you catch 15 predators, you get a green card."
Do we cover the
Allie's gonna run around with a whole bunch of every 15 they get. They'll get a free dinner at Whataburger.
I would make I would make Earth great again.
Did we cover Trump going
Well-
to DOT?
I'm gonna call it Mega. Make Earth great again.
Well, you heard it here on the TIBN.
Crap, she's already running for president. She's only, what, 19? 20?
20.
20 now? What are you, just
Yep.
barely turned 20?
I turned 20 February 1st. You're late.
Well, nobody told me. Sean told me
Hmm.
the other day. He's like, oh, by the way, she turned 20 like a while back ago.
You know what? And instead of MAGA, mine will be Mega. Make Earth great again.
So, by the way, did you ever get your beef jerky?
No, I actually haven't ordered it yet. I have the card sitting on my nightstand. I'm still waiting to order it. I'm still trying to figure out the website.
Okay.
You know what? How old do you have to be to run for president? Like 30-something?
35, I think.
You know what? Fuck it. I mean, screw it. Whenever I turn 35, I'll be running for president.
I think I should be dead by then, so I'll be okay.
No. Hopefully you'll be alive then.
Agreed, Allie. I
We
thought
got-
we agreed that women can sit back and Allie, you can make sandwiches.
Okay,
And
only Democrat
Just
women.
let men.
Only
be presidents.
Democrat women need to shut their mouths. Beautiful Republican women, let them speak out. But Democrat women, keep your mouth shut.
Hear that, Stacy?
Well, if Stacey's a Democrat woman, then yeah, keep your mouth shut. Go
No.
make
Oh,
sandwiches.
no. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, she's not.
Well, then there you go. She got nothing to worry about. But if you are a woman and you're a Democrat, shut up and go make my sandwich. How about that?
Holy
Go make a fellow woman a sandwich.
But she
And
wants
get in
women making her
the
sandwich.
kitchen.
Let me guess, I'm going to fetch you beers,
John, I
too?
think,
Huh?
John,
gonna
I think
fetch your
she's
beers,
growing
too?
up on us.
You know what? I've made Democrat women my biatches.
Huh.
Allie, you've made a few of them cry.
Oh, I'll make even more cry. I make grown men cry for a living.
So we got a few minutes here, and I don't think we covered the DOT yet, right? The Trump DOT thing. So President Donald Trump and EV mogul Elon Musk. Oh, this has come by way of Overdrive online. New Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has opened a new line of communication for Americans to inform the top levels of the executive branch on waste, fraud, and abuse at federal agencies. Owner operators, can you think of anything like that? So Sunday, DOGE solicited direct messages via Musk social media website X, formerly Twitter. DOGE is looking for help from the general public. Please DM Insight for reducing waste, fraud, and abuse, along with any helpful insights or awesome ideas to the relevant DOGE affiliates. Among those affiliates of interest in the trucking might be the DOGE X accounts for Department of Transportation, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Department of Energy, or Department of Homeland Security, the Small Business Administration, the Federal Trade Commission, and Internal Revenue Service.
Am I hearing defund the FMCSA in there?
Well, they pointed out, the folks at Overdrive were good enough to point out that the one agency that's missing, of course, it falls under the Department of Transportation, but needs recognition is the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration.
Am I hearing get rid of the ELD?
Under this administration, it might be a good idea to start approaching that again. But as far as I'm concerned, let's just get rid of the hours of service, and along with it goes the electronic logging devices because it loses all usefulness. Not that it had any usefulness. I don't mean to kind
Yeah.
of it didn't have any usefulness, but usefulness to them
I-
as far as muling you, the truck driver, making you chattel property, so they can make millions of dollars off from your hard work. And that's exactly what the ELD is designed to do: is force you to purchase a product so they can make millions of dollars. How's it feel to be chattel property?
That's been my whole fight all along with this, John.
Yeah, I'm well, I told the FMCSA I will not be using the ELD when it goes into effect. I intend to stay true to that promise, and I have so far. I don't use the
But then we know
ELD
one driver.
unless I use it
We
for
know
a wheel
one
charge.
driver made this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I just said I don't use the ELD, but I will use it for a wheel chalk. That is.
You know what? I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm gonna address this comment that Greg made. Sir, don't call me a liberal. Don't call me no damn liberal. You can call me whatever you want, but a liberal, that ain't it. That will get
Wait
you
a
a
minute.
one.
Wait a
I
minute.
knew he had called you out on
Wait a
something.
minute. I invited Greg up here.
Oh yeah, but he don't want to come up here.
He's got a link
Uh-oh.
to come up here.
Come say it to my face. How about that? Come say that to my face. That'll get you a one-way ticket to ass kicking town.
Ass kicking.
Allie, a little heads up. Put your camera on, Allie. A little heads up. Matt's is coming to Louisville pretty soon, and you will catch Greg at the Mid-America Truck Show in Louisville, Kentucky.
Whenever I see you, if I ever see you, it's on site, Greg. Mark my words. It's on site. 10 toes in, you better be ready for an ass kicking. And Stacy, don't make me no roast beef sandwich. I don't like roast beef sandwiches. How about you make me a ham sandwich with some salami and some pepperoni. Maybe a Subway sandwich. How about that?
What she's saying, Stacy, she'd like a nice Italian.
Yeah, I like a nice meat sandwich.
Go make me a sandwich, Allie.
Yeah, you're about to get a one way. You about to get a golden ticket to Ass Kicking Town. How about that?
Well, I'll be in Texas this weekend.
Yeah,
Come
and
get
you know what?
some.
And you know what? No Girl Scout cookies for you either, Sean.
Oh, now wait
I'm
a minute.
eating them
That
tonight.
hurts.
I'm eating them
that
tonight.
Hurts.
You know
That
what?
hurts.
Oh well, yeah. You know what? Too bad.
I think it's
That
you
hurts
got her
now.
jerky, so now you don't get no cookies. I see how it is.
Too damn bad.
She's eating my Girl Scout cookies now, John.
Yep. I got them right here waiting. They're mine. You're done. They're mine. How about you make me a sandwich, Sean, while I eat them Thin Mints?
Make your own damn sandwich.
Yeah, same to you.
I love our man-to-man talks, Allie.
This ain't no man-to-man talk. This is... I can't say that on here. I'm supposed to be borderline respectful. I can't say what I was going to say. But make your own sandwich.
Like I told Stacy today, we have our driver-to-driver talks, and you and I have our man-to-man talks.
I'm going to stay silent on that one. I got to watch what I say. I've been trying to be good on the show.
Well, it just keeps you in prime for next month because your favorite person's coming on, Kyle Sinclair.
Yep, I got to
on
practice.
March 20th, as a matter of fact.
I have to practice being good for whenever he shows up on the show. Because I can't be acting like a
that's
hoodlum.
okay. That's okay, because you know why? March 6th, as we're getting around to the 7 o'clock hour, March 6th, John, James Toller's coming, Greg, Toller's coming back. So, Allie, you can have all the fun you want with Greg.
One-way ticket. You better be ready. Greg, you better be ready. And you better put on your little campaign that you got your ass kicked by a 20-year-old woman. You better be ready.
I think I sense Greg is laughing at you, Ollie. How does that make
I'm I'm about to open up a whole new can of whoop ass. You better be ready.
She's gonna
So,
be
yes,
some
on March
butt kicking
6th, we will have Greg Toller coming on. March 20th, Kyle Sinclair will be on. And March 27th, we're bringing the drivers back from the truckers table, John.
Awesome. Those trucker table people.
So don't forget Monday evening, 7 o'clock Eastern. Here's your second chance, Allie. You can catch John and Greg on America Talks. Tuesday night, you can catch John with Bad Billy on the Patriot Confederation. Damn, I can't talk now. Wednesday night, the Common Sense Conservative with John, Greg, and Chris. And we'll be back next Thursday.
Awesome. And you know what? I think I learned to say the word reciprocity. I can do it now.
Stacy, you too. It's on site too. You better be ready. There ain't no way. John, look at the comments.
Oh, I already have.
Yeah, Stacy,
I'm
it's on
bringing
site.
Stacy on next week. You understand this, don't you?
You better be ready. You better be ready. You know what? You know what? You better be ready for tonight. Catching you in Discord.
I think she's
Shame.
in a different Discord.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna meet her there. 10 toes in. You better be ready.
All right.
I'm opening up 10 cans. I'm opening up 10
John, we're
cans
having
of
a
whoop
cat
ass.
fight. Say goodnight.
10 toes.
Opening 10 cans of whoop ass.
Say good night.
Come
to
on,
the
we're
folks,
having a cat
Allie.
fight. Say goodnight.
With a smile.
Good night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our bit for tonight. We hope you got something out of it. As always, keep the greasy side down, the shiny side up, in between the lines. Safe travels wherever it is you may be going. Be good. If you can't be good, well, be good at it. And we gone.